There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2024 Acura ZDX, $299 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura RDX, $399 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
Live. It is the Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. Frankie Frezko will be joining us here in a moment, but priorities got in the way as his Columbia team is playing, and he will be joining us as soon as they finish up their match here tonight, and then we will dive into everything that is the world of pro wrestling. I want to thank everybody that has joined us. Appreciate everybody on all of the platforms. We are on YouTube at Stanley Media House Network. We are also on the Frankie Frezko YouTube channel as well, the Facebook Stanley Media House, and on X Stanley Media _11, and also on Twitch. Wherever you're watching us, we appreciate it. We thank you for letting us come into your home. NXT just about to kick off, so we'll be doing both of those. We will be talking the show that is going on right now as it is NXT, and then we got a bunch of topics to discuss here tonight on the Squared Circle Digest, and we'll bring up the board now, let you see what we will be discussing here tonight. CM Punk had some comments. We will also get into the Jon Moxley. There were some comments that he made. CM Punk made some comments today. Not earth-shattering, but I think it kind of goes with his mentality, and I want to wait till Frankie gets on to really go over the whole thing, because I know he's the CM Punk guy, and just the comments and the way that they were made, just, you know, and I do have the comments. I'm trying not to go into it right now full bore, because I want to get, of course, Frankie's. AEW Dynamite was on this week, and I have to tell you, man, it was probably one of the better Dynamites. I mean, they've been picking up as it's been going on since, to me, since Revolution, but then it hit a little bit of a lull. And then now this week felt like it was running on all cylinders. It was good to see. It was from top to bottom, and we'll dive into that as well. WWE War Games, we kind of see how the teams are taking shape, so we will dive into that and discuss our thoughts on that. Becky Lynch, is she coming back to WWE? There's been some news and rumors on that. We'll also share our thoughts on SmackDown and Raw. Of course, we will be spinning the wheel for a couple of topics, see what they land on. Then we have the AEW Full Gear picks, AEW Full Gear this weekend on pay-per-view. And if you didn't watch Dynamite last week, please tune into Dynamite this week. I really think you'll see it. There's a vibe going right now, man. And I don't know what it is, or, the one thing that I always said was AEW always delivers on pay-per-views. Always. Because inside the four ropes, it's fantastic. The action inside the ropes is fantastic. The problem that I had, and again, it's my personal preference, is I like more of, and I'm not saying that they didn't have storylines going, but there wasn't storylines throughout the whole episode that kept me, again, episodic TV is about hooking in to stay. And I felt like the last few Dynamites have just picked it up, man. And again, not saying it was, terrible before. I know everybody's like, oh, the ratings mean nothing. Those numbers mean nothing. The only reason I look at them is to see what the trends are. Where do their trends stay at? Are they staying at 7? Are they dropping to 6? Are they going up and down? That, to me, is all those numbers mean. Because, to be honest with you, if Warner Brothers is happy and they're going to pay them the money, what the hell does it matter what anybody thinks anyways? And that's one of the things that is going to be interesting to see how it goes. Because to me, the AEW Full Gear pay-per-view, it's pretty goddamn good. It is real good. And they've got a lot of stories in there that, I think top to bottom, this one has almost every bit of the pay-per-view is going to be, storyline driven. So it's going to be interesting to see where those goes. Then we're going to have the miscellaneous thoughts, which will probably dive into some of the Moxie comments. And of course, we have all of you to thank for tuning in. And let's see who's in already. No Doubt's in. Joey R is in. What's up? No Doubt in, I think. Yeah, Josh is in. I'm sorry, I'm reading this backwards. What up, Sean? He crying because he lost to my country, Ecuador. Oh, did they lose? Colombia lost to Ecuador? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. See, I didn't get it. He just said he might be a little late because of the game was going a little long. So I said, oh, no problem, boss. I appreciate you being in with me. So we'll see where it goes. I think I said Joey R. If I did not, Joey R., appreciate you, man. Make sure, please, if you're liking what you're hearing, share it out there. Please hit the subscribe button. It's the first time you're listening to us. We appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button on the Stanley Media House Network or on the Frankie Frezko YouTube channel. If you're watching us on any of the social media platforms, please hit that follow button, all right? Every Tuesday night, we go live here, looking to possibly maybe start some South Florida sports talk going on Thursdays. We're going to see how it goes. My traveling is done now for this season for the Dolphins. So now I can kind of get back into a groove and see if I can get my groove back. Because Sean lost his groove. No Doubt says the Blackpool Combat Club angle has been really good thus far. Let me ask you guys something, and gals, or whoever's listening right now. I got a question for you, man. Because I do like the whole thing with Orange Cassidy. I like what... wait a minute. I think we might have possibly somebody joining us. So we'll see here in a minute. I hear him. I don't see him as of yet, so I'm just waiting for him. I don't see you. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Hold on. I know. I heard. I heard. Josh is already on, saying you're ducking him. Was it a bad play or just they got beat? Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. It's gonna be a. Let me tell you something. This might be a fired up Square Circle Digest. I might have to control Frankie. All right. So here we go. We will flip over to and get started with today's topics. Again, I am Sean Stanley. That gentleman down there is Frankie Frezko.
Wait, before
Great mood, but I'm gonna turn it over to him right now, ladies and gentlemen. Frankie Frezko.
All right, so first and foremost, I am very upset. And Josh, I don't want to hear it, man. Okay, you guys won. Happy dandy for you ass. Man, I'm so mad at Colombia. Colombia is so trash. We got one man more, and we still can't score a freaking goal. The coach goes and puts 3 forwards, changes everybody that we need, and they can't score a goal. Like, at this point in time, they're looking like the United States out there, bro.
Damn.
So bad. Like, I'm so mad. The only thing that will cheer me up is this hat right here. Okay, this is the only thing that's cheering me up right now. This hat right here. Hold on, let me put it. There it is. That's the only thing that cheered me up.
Oh, Frankie Frezko, I love you, man.
That's the only thing that's cheering me up.
I love you, buddy.
That's the only reason I'm on the stream, just because of this. If it wasn't for this, I probably would not shown up. I'm so mad, bro. We suck so bad.
Oh, you yellow jacket, you.
What up, guys? What's going on, man? It's been a rough day. It's been a rough night, man. It's been a rough night. Not gonna lie.
He is the great Frankie Frezko, and as I said, we went through the thing. Joey R. new into the chat, so we want to make sure we thank him and welcome him. And let's see what else we got. He won't let you see his tears, Josh. U.S. catching strays. Colombia is so embarrassing. They lost against 10-man Ecuador. Oh, boy. All right. So
they don't even deserve to be up on my wall up there. You know, I had the little Colombia thing. They don't even deserve to be up there, bro.
Man, wow.
That's how upset I am right now.
Man, Frankie Frezko, buddy. You got to love him, man. You got to love the Frankster. All right. So we're going to dive in. Let's, Frankie, did you see the comments? I think they came out today. I saw them today. I don't know if they came out any earlier about CM Punk when he was asked if there's anybody in AEW that he wanted to work with that he didn't get a chance to work with. Did you see those comments?
I did, actually. I saw what he said, man. I saw what he said. And
all right, for those that didn't, real quick, I'm going to put this up. Hold on 1 minute.
So fired up right now.
He put on there, no, I feel like I wasted some matches on some people, for sure. That is what it is. Some people understand the business and some people don't. I think everybody here understands the business. And this was during an interview, I believe, with Peter Rosenberg. And a lot of the talk, I believe, was coming out of Fightful. I took it from somewhere else, so I'm not sure who just to give the props to whoever it was. I know the interview was on to Peter Rosenberg, and then the Fightful sent it out there. So, with those comments being said, Frankie, is there anything really there?
Is there anything really there with what? With what CM Punk said?
What he said, yeah. Like I mean,
yeah, he basically told AEW that they make stupid matches for no freaking reason. He just like, hey, Sean, let's go wrestle a match. Okay, let's put it on Dynamite. Hey, Sean, me and Big O, let's go wrestle on Collision. That's what he basically said, and he's 100% correct. I mean, we've always criticized their storylines. Now, granted, recently they've changed. They're starting to try to build it up, but before then, I mean, come on, man. There's still some, even now, there's still some matches that sometimes you're like, why are you having this match? Like, why would you put Sheldon Benjamin versus Will Ospreay on the Dynamite? Why? It makes no freaking sense. Yes, you want them to wrestle, but just throw them out there? It's stupid. It's dumb. It's frustrating. Just as frustrating as Colombia. And I respect CM Punk for calling them out. And hopefully Tony Khan listens to the comments, and hopefully Tony Khan goes and says, you know what, he's right, and just move on.
No Doubt said Collision would get better ratings with Frankie versus Big O.
You want to know something? I know we're talking wrestling. I do. And you guys know that we're taking a break from Let Me Talk to You. But there would be, I would love to make some comments about Big O, but I'm gonna hold off because I don't want to get into any issues with him. Because he does frustrate me sometimes. And right now I'm heated because of the soccer game. So
wait a minute. So wait a minute. So now Columbia frustrates you. AEW frustrates you. Big O frustrates you. Do you think it's you?
No. Columbia frustrates me because of the game that they just had.
I know, I'm messing with you, man.
AEW doesn't frustrate me. I already know they're ass when it comes to like certain matches.
I think the last couple of weeks though they've changed. We're going to talk about the Dynamite next, but I mean, again, this really isn't news because to me, I feel like the page has already been turned on the whole thing with CM Punk, and that's kind of why I think he kind of just threw that answer out there. I just my thing is though is like, bro, you got paid while you were there. To say now could you have made more? Could some of those things have been different and maybe made more money? Of course, yeah. But to say like, you know, they don't know the business, I don't know where
they don't know the business, Sean.
But see, that's where it's different though, because CM Punk was brought up in WWE. So he gets that side of it. They're trying to be opposite. That's part of the thing where, you know, and again, I feel like they dropped the ball when they lost CM Punk. I'm not gonna, you know,
100% they dropped the ball.
That was, you know, but again, I don't know all the stuff that was going on backstage. And also when you look at it, it kind of looks like CM Punk was doing that. I'm going to do whatever it takes to kind of get out of here. Right. In a way, after the second time, it was like, okay, all right, I'm just going to get out of here somehow, some way.
But can you blame him? I mean, he was pushing Collision. He was doing everything right to help the show and AEW flourish. The majority of the viewers for Collision was because of him. Dynamite was hitting over 1 million with him on there. You bring him over, and then they screw him over. They practically just said, screw you. And I know that CM Punk could be a diva, but at the same time, he comes from the WWE world. He knows the business. He knows if I'm Tony Khan and I see CM Punk is coming and I was able to get him and I'm riding this high. And then all of a sudden you have these issues going on and blase, and then guys like Jack Perry and all that stuff. Like, come on, man. Be a grown ass up. Be a grown man. Run your business correctly, bro. Know how to approach these wrestlers. And if you feel that you can't approach them, then you shouldn't be running a business. You shouldn't be running a wrestling federation. That's the way I look at it. He could go kick rocks for all I care. Because that's what I feel. I do not disagree one bit with CM Punk, and I'm glad he's throwing him under the bus. And I would keep doing it. If we had CM Punk, I would tell him, hey man, if you were running AEW, what would you change? And I'm pretty sure he'll be open about it and tell us everything, because literally they look, Sean, even though you like what they're showing you, it's still not getting the fans to look at it. I looked at Rampage. It was good. It was okay. I looked at Dynamite again, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's okay. But is it something that you or the casual fan is going to go ahead and jump? No, man. And at the end of the day, this is a business, man. You need to be able to not only go ahead and show good wrestling, good storylines, but you got to make money. And if you can't make money, then you know what? Get out of here, bro. Look, did you read that crap that they were saying? Hey, look, we're thinking about going to smaller venues because you don't got anybody going to the damn Dynamites and Collisions and their Rampages. It's freaking sad. It's terrible.
Yeah, but they have to go to the other. They can't do the larger venues that they're doing. Their pay-per-views maybe, but their weekly shows, no. It needs to go to a. And I thought what was funny was when I heard, and also, you know, we kind of throw all this in. And again, me and Frankie were talking, you know, to be transparent about this yesterday, about this a little bit. because of the Moxley comment as well. And this was before the CM Punk comments. But, because it was asked, like, is Moxley doing an angle? Is this part of the whole thing that he's doing with the reset and all of this stuff that goes on? Oh, no, Memo's in now, too.
Yo, don't start, Memo. Don't start, bro. Don't get me started, man. Because I'll block your ass just like Big O likes to block people. Chill out.
Well, that's good, Memo.
Enjoy the victory, Ecuador, and go kick rocks, bro. All right?
Yeah, so Moxley said, in kind of, his new thing, and again, a lot of people are trying to figure out if it was more work or whatever, but that, they were back cutting interviews, and he wasn't going to say names, but he's walking by somebody, and somebody was like, oh, that guy's low on the card. It doesn't matter at this point, just do the interview and let's get it done and move on. And Moxley, took exception to that. And he was like, I was one of those guys that was low on the card. If I wasn't given the time, how am I going to move up and things like that? And then now I don't know how much of it is storyline, but when you start hearing that, you hear Punk, you kind of hear, again, taking it as a grain of salt because you hear it from everybody that kind of leaves. And then when I heard Bubba say a couple things, when he said, and I mean, Frankie, like I said, talked about it a little bit yesterday. He's like, what if somebody told the ringmaster that he couldn't have the mic time at King of the Ring? There'd be no Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because at that point, the ringmaster was a mid-card guy. And it kind of goes to speak to some of, and again, I don't know because the thing is, Tony Khan and AEW want to be so different than what WWE was that I kind of think they.
Oh my God! Can the chat board can the chat board shut the hell up and just listen to Sean and talk about wrestling? Jesus Christ! Just talk about wrestling. We don't even talk about soccer. Go ahead, Sean.
I kind of like this, but I like this Frankie Frezko here. Whoa. Oh, boy. All right, they're coming fast and furious there in the chat now. But when you look at it, it kind of speaks to, and Bubba kind of said it on Busted Open Radio, was like, has Moxley voiced these concerns and they fall on deaf ear to where now he feels like I have to go and put it out there for everybody to hear. So again, I do like this part of the thing because when you blur the line, you don't know what the real and what isn't. And to me, that's when some of the better storylines are because you don't know what's fact and what's kind of fiction, but it's a blurred line. It's not black and white. Now it's gray. Is it part of the angle? To me, it's one of those things to where if it happened organically, it should be part of the angle now going forward. As I said before, I think if TK gets involved, and I know he doesn't want to do anything WWE did, and I understand that, but at this point, you had the Elite attack him, and that went nowhere, except for him in the neck brace on draft day. Yeah. And at some point, though, I almost feel like if he wants to make that buzz, he's going to have to become an on-air character. And I don't know, if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, but I feel like at some point he has to stick up for his company, AEW.
I don't think it will help him, man. I think the best decision he could do is just hire somebody that knows wrestling and you just stay out of it. You just sit back don't do what Steven Ross should have done. Just sit back, give the responsibility to the GM, wherever it is, and just run with it and just leave it alone. He's not going to be a character. Let's just keep it real. Even though you and me agree that maybe it would help ratings, he's not going to do it. He doesn't know how to run the company. He just makes idiotic decisions left and right. He thinks he knows more. He's compassionate like Mike McDaniel. He sucks like Colombia right now. It's just bad. It's just bad. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think the best thing that he should do is just hire somebody who knows the wrestling world and just give them the power. Look what TKO did. They went ahead, they gave it to Triple H. Triple H, you run it. That's it. TKO is not back there going ahead and telling Triple H, hey, this is what you got to do. This no, they put somebody in charge that knows the business, and he's doing a good job with it. That's it. Just leave it like that. TKO's Tony Khan is the same way. TK needs to go ahead and just hire somebody who knows what the hell they're doing, and that's it. He's not a person who could run a business because he's too much of a fanboy. He loves wrestling, so just hire somebody. You want to still be involved during the little pregame, like the little shows right before they go online, right before they go live. Just come out and say, "Hey guys, I'm AEW," and this and that, which he always does at the live events outside of camera and all that stuff. And then after the show's over, do it again for the fans, and then there you go. Thank you so much, Tony Khan, for giving us wrestling. But that's it. Just leave it alone. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how to run the company, bro. He sucks, and it's visible. And I just feel bad because I hope AEW can last. I mean,
it's gonna last, man. I mean, it's not.
Money runs out, bro. Money runs out.
But again, Warner Brothers is only worried about their time frame. Now, again, as you start adding the other shows that they're talking about adding and how those do, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But again, they gave them $175 million a year, man. I mean, they're not going nowhere for a while, bro. They're not going nowhere. And I don't think even if there was, I don't think that they're going anywhere because Tony Khan won't allow it. You know, No Doubt said, I don't think he needs to be on air. He needs EPs to do that job. But they're all so far from repping the brand that it wouldn't make sense. He needs an Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis. But again, that's where I think, again, when you look at the stuff that was going on, okay, think about who they've had in the back, okay? And again, I get it, whether you're old school or however you want to look at it. They had Arn Anderson back there. They've had Dean Malenko, or they still have Dean Malenko, I believe. Jerry Lynn's been back there. Chris Jericho on the side. You have Moxley. You have all those other, those brains. Kenny Omega is still another one that's been around. He's been around for a while now. You have a lot of guys that you can run. They had William Regal, who I thought would have been better off bringing him in as the GM instead of bringing him in as the head of the Blackpool Combat Club. That could have been your guy that you put in charge to run it. That's, to me, was where I felt they could have made a difference a little bit. Because now you have that authority figure. I mean, Christopher Daniels is Christopher Daniels. I just don't think he's looked at as that authority figure where William Regal has been a GM on NXT, a GM here, a GM there. If you flip him into that role, it's no different.
First and foremost, Christopher Daniels sucks as a GM. Let's just put it out there. Second of all, if you're going to put any GM or EPs or whatnot, put somebody who's not wrestling. Put somebody that's just going to focus on that position as being the GM. That's it. You don't need somebody who's also wrestling to be a GM. Christopher Daniels, I'm pretty sure, wrestles in Ring of Honor every once in a blue moon.
But let me ask you this. What about Paul White? Why don't you make him an authority figure?
Well, somebody.
It's him anyway. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
is he still in AEW? I thought he left already.
Oh, he's still there. Mark Henry's gone. I think Paul White's the only one still there.
Put somebody that knows the business, who's wrestled before, and is not wrestling now. Mm-hmm. Do you see Adam Pearce? Do you see Nick Aldis wrestling out there? No, because there's a conflict of interest. So you don't do that. And then when you pick Christopher Daniels, you kind of pick and choose him to put him in like single little spots for like 10 seconds instead of actually putting him in different parts of storylines. Like, you're the GM. They're not. It's like WWE finds a way to incorporate Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis to kind of each little storyline one by one. When it comes to Christopher Daniels, all he's doing is breaking up fights. All he's doing is he'll come out every once in a blue moon, yell it out there, be like, okay, I got it. Don't worry. We're going to go ahead and set up this fight. No, man. He doesn't look like a GM. He looks like somebody he looks lost out there, man. He looks lost, and he's not even wearing a suit. He's just wearing a long sleeve shirt and some pants. How could I take that guy serious as a GM and he's not even wearing a suit? He's just chilling. Like, dumb mistakes, bro. Dumb. And yeah, I agree. Put Paul right. If he could, and he knows He knows wrestling. He comes from the and you don't give me that crap about Tony Khan that I don't want to be like WWE or any of that crap because everything that you've done, it's now WWE. You've been hiring all these wrestlers from WWE. You've been going. You said initially that you didn't want to make any extra shows, and now you have 3 shows throughout the week. You didn't. You wanted to only give the fans like 4 or 5 pay-per-views. You're giving us like 10 already now. You're doing everything that WWE does. So
the roster is huge. They're not even using. I don't even think a third of the roster is being used right now.
Again, it's pointless. And going back to what CM Punk says, I'm happy that he pointed it out. And no doubt, like just go ahead and if you ask him that question, what I like about CM Punk is you're gonna get the honest truth. He's an open book. He's gonna tell you what he thinks, whether it's right or wrong. And right now, he knows that whatever you ask him about AEW, he's gonna be right because AEW hasn't gotten their shit together, and I don't think they ever will. As long as Tony Khan is the guy running the show, they're not gonna get that bit. They're not gonna succeed, man. And it sucks because I really like AEW.
Many agendas that's behind the scenes that doesn't come out enough to where you can really get the full happening of what is going on. I mean, there's always things that happen behind the scenes that you're never gonna really get the gist on, but I just feel like there's more than like 3 or 4 different agendas going on backstage in AEW.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. I mean, the fact that
and you said something important too. You said Dean Malenko was back there, William Regal was out there, obviously Art Anderson was out there. All those guys have been back there backstage. But not a single one of them has taken the charge to being the leader. Now, is that because
you have to remember though, a lot of those guys, they're not doing. They're waiting to be asked. If you're not going to ask them, they're not going to go for it.
There you go. So where I was going with this is number one. Maybe Tony Khan doesn't want any of them to be leaders. That's why he hasn't gone ahead and asked any of them to take that role and that responsibility. Or number two, these guys are just like the wrestlers, which I can't blame them. They're old, they're retired, they did their business. But if you're getting paid just to go ahead and give your opinion here and there, hey, money to me, bro. Let me go ahead and cash checks and then just sit back and enjoy it. You're asking the bare minimum from me? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'll quit any job and do that. Hire me, Tony Khan. I'll sit back there. You want me to give you some ideas here once in a blue moon and you pay me good money? Why not?
Yeah, that's the thing. I just don't think he picked a lot of their brains because, again, if you start doing that, where do they come from? Again, Arn Anderson also came from NWA, but they're seen as WWE guys. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're looking at it and going, okay, which way are we going? And that's one of the things where I think, man, like, I don't understand. And you know what? Let's dive into the thoughts of AEW Dynamite because we can dive into some of this as well. Frankie, were you able to catch all? Because I know you have a lot going on. Were you able to watch Dynamite, or were you watching clips, or how were you able to take in Dynamite?
No, I watched all of Dynamite. I saw all of Rampage. I only saw the highlights, the highlight moments of Collision.
Okay, so for you. Well, I'll go with that. I thought the flow of, and we discussed this a little bit. I thought the flow of Dynamite was the best it's been in a while. Like, I thought they picked up after Revolution. I honestly did. Then they kind of hit a lull, and then the last 2 Dynamites have been pretty good. But then when I look back at them, I'm like, They're storylines from top to bottom. When you look at it right now, though, the story there, you have the Mercedes Moné, Chris Statlander, you got the Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. You of course got Orange Cassidy and what are they now? The Rough Riders. You've got Mariah May. You've got the Don Callis. You had Adam Cole. You got Takeshita. It flowed well to where it was a good actual episode, not just, a segment here and a segment there. The episode flowed well for this Dynamite. And again, It did go up. It went up a little bit. But can they keep this? It's consistency to me. That's what I want to see because, again, they got consistent, and then I don't know if they got complacent, and then it fell a little bit, and then now it's back to me being pretty consistent. And then it's also leading into a pay-per-view this week, which we will have full gear picks here in a little bit. But I don't see, and again, I don't want to compare it to what we get with the Dolphins, but the Dolphins, you've seen the change for 5 weeks. We've seen it now with AEW for probably 2.5, 3 weeks. Is it just because the pay-per-view's coming up? You think it changes? The Hurt Business and Swerve, like it just feels like there's a lot more going on than just, it used to be like the top stories were spotlighted and then everything else just kind of fell into place. Now it feels like the whole show is spotlighted.
Okay. My way of thinking about this, I agree with you, but they're still doing something wrong. And I'll tell you what it is. First, I agree with you. There is storylines. You got the Chris Statlander, Mercedes Moné. You got the Moxley and Orange Cassidy and the rest of those guys. You got the Hurt Business. You got the Takeshka, Will Ospreay, that situation going on as well. And then you have the MJF, Roddy, and Roderick Strong and Adam Cole. So you got different storylines going on. Here is the problem. Here is the freaking problem. Okay. First, let's go. Moxley and Orange Cassidy, the main guys. Moxley, okay, he's a main guy, right? But then you're trying to push Orange Cassidy, the guy to lead your company. Not good. All right, here, next one. Will Ospreay, great guy, amazing guy, right? Amazing to lead a story. His storyline is with his buddy. I forgot his name now.
Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher. Who the hell's Kyle Fletcher? Let's just keep it real. I'm sorry. I'm no disrespect to Kyle Fletcher. Who the hell is he? All right, let's move on. Next storyline, Mercedes Moné. Everybody loves Mercedes Moné with her Camille.
They've killed her. They've killed Camille.
Okay.
She's useless.
But now you got Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
Why Chris Statlander? That's not your main top girl. That's not your main top girl. Again, you're doing a good job with the storylines, but you're putting wrong wrestlers on those main storylines. That's the bad thing about it. You notice you got a high-end wrestler, Moxley, with a semi-high wrestler, Orange Cassidy. And then when I mean semi-high, I mean like fan base. Like he doesn't have the fans behind him as much. People like him, but he's not a wow guy. Will Ospreay, wow guy. Kyle Fletcher, not a wow guy. Mercedes Moné, wow guy, supposedly. Obviously, she's gone down. Camille, you stuck her in there. Okay, perfect. Chris Statlander, not a wow person. She just went through a battle with Willow Nightingale and she sucked. Anyways, you have these issues. You keep putting one with the other. Look at the WWE, and I know people will say, "Hey, why you compare the two?" But think about it. Cody Rhodes involved with Roman Reigns. You're bringing in Solo Sikoa. Okay, Solo has been in that storyline for a very, very long time. Now you were able to groom him and bring him and make more content, be able to make it sense for him to be involved in it. And yet still, you have Cody Rhodes involved in it. They added Bronson Reed. They added Seth Rollins, another guy who's banger out there. You bringing all these guys together because these are your main roster. Now, at the same time, you're bringing in Bronson Reed to help elevate. But you got think about it. You got Seth Rollins as a banger. He's probably going to be the fifth guy in my opinion, or if not him, Cody.
That's next.
Well, yeah, because we got the War Games. So you have those guys. You have Roman Reigns. You have Jey Uso. How you've elevated him over the years. Look at what you're doing. You're elevating guys, the right guys, correctly. And here's the issue too, Sean. Tony Khan, just listen to your fans. Just listen to your fans. If I throw a match out there of Orange Cassidy versus, I don't know, Mortals, look at the viewership. Does it peak or does it still keep going down? It keeps going down. Okay, so we got to work with those two guys, but that doesn't mean I'm going to put Orange Cassidy or Mortals in a main storyline. I got to put them in like a subdivision storyline. Like that's how you got to organize it because you have heavy hitters, but you're not putting them with the right person for the storyline. The only one that you could probably say they got kind of right was the Hurt Business, because you got the Hurt Business and then you got Swerve, and he's one of your guys. But that's the only one, and that's the one that you and me are more intrigued about, because we actually wanted to see it.
I feel like that's the reason why Orange Cassidy is in the role he's in now, because Swerve is with the Hurt Business, and it doesn't make sense with everything the way it was going. It wouldn't have made sense for them to attack Will Ospreay.
The Hurt Business.
No. I'm talking the Rough Riders, Moxley and them, because the whole thing now is that Moxley feels he's saving AEW. He's saving the young guys. He's going to make the young guys step up and take that step forward that they didn't have because they weren't being pushed before. You know, so like I understand that part, but I do agree with you in the part that I feel like you're doing so much to try to build Orange Cassidy more than you're trying to build the match Orange Cassidy against Moxley. Like this week, they got him taking on Wheeler Yuta because, you know, they were friends and now they're not, and he's got, you know, but I feel like sometimes you've had this time to build up Orange Cassidy, and it hasn't happened yet to where, I mean, I get it. You have your diehards. They're there that, you know, but do I think Orange Cassidy is going into Full Gear and putting the belt into his backpack? No.
Absolutely not, man.
No, I don't see it unless you bring Bryan Danielson out of nowhere or something crazy like that. But in a one-on-one match, I know he got the victory over Moxley once. Then Moxley beat him for the Intercontinental or the International Championship at that time. So it's 1-1 or however you want to look at it. But like, to me, that's not enough to push this. And like somebody was telling me the other day, like they feel like the Moxley story is good, but it's missing something. I said it's missing the baby face. Orange Cassidy's not the guy that, like, again, when they came out and they put a bag over Bryan Danielson's face, that was something, because Bryan Danielson's that guy. If they do that to Orange Cassidy, does it have the same effect?
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
And notice what they did. They did Moxley, who's a heavy hitter in AEW, against Bryan Danielson, who was a heavy hitter in AEW. Which makes sense. But when you put an Orange Cassidy, it's like going ahead and saying, hey, Roman Reigns is starting to have a fight with, I don't know, not even Braun Breaker, this guy, Dragunov, that he just jumped in from NXT over to the WWE, to the main roster. Why? Why would you put Dragunov, who just came out of the blue, who he doesn't have a huge fan base? He has fans, but not a huge one, to go against Roman. And what chances does it give you to go ahead and assume, hey, he has a shot at beating Roman? That's why when they did the stupid thing with Chris Statlander, going ahead and putting Camille and Mercedes through the wall, how in the world is Chris Statlander putting two women through a freaking wall? Two women, not one, two. Come on, man. You're degrading. You're putting Mercedes Moné down, like saying, yo, she sucks. And so does Camille. And you already put her on a regular Dynamite match, Camille versus Chris Statlander, and Camille lost. Yeah. So it's like you're hurting these wrestlers.
What they're doing with Camille, it's like for instance, the way that whole interview started, it's Mercedes drops the jacket and is like, pick it up. Okay, so what? You're teasing a turn? But like, to me right now is they've done so much to like kind of make her irrelevant in a way.
You know what's happening to her? Or what might happen to her? The same thing that happened to Wardlow. That's what's going to happen to her.
And you know what's funny is, what I've always said, and I think you've kind of hopped on it too, is TK is to big wrestlers what Vince McMahon was to small wrestlers.
Yeah.
Can't use them. Doesn't know how to use them. Wardlow should have been a monster. Even like Lance Archer. Like, it pisses me off every time I watch Lance Archer come in, and it's like, okay, who's he putting over this week? Like, because you know that's all it is. It's just like, okay, here we go. Like, give them a little bit of a run. I like the tag team thing they're doing now. But again, once they put them in a tag team match, it's just to bolster other people. So, No Doubt says, I think Freshly Squeezed is primed for a push. I am all right with it.
No doubt. They already gave him a push a couple of times. He already fought Moxley before. And not to mention when he had, the Moxley, I actually, not the Moxley, the Orange Cassidy I liked was when he was having issues with Chris Jericho, because at that time, Chris Jericho was not like the face of AEW. He was another guy who was just trying to push people and all that stuff, and it would work. But now, like, dude, you don't have to push Freshly Squeezed because you've already done it multiple times and it hasn't worked. So why make him the face of AEW? It makes no sense. He wants to be part of it, okay? And then you put in Kyle Fletcher. I mean, not Kyle Fletcher. The other guy, Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly. What has he been doing? He's been injured for years, or it felt like he's been injured for years. And
He's
you
been
doing
doing conglomeration. You got Mark Briscoe and those guys. With the word of the day. The word of the day is Phantomonious.
So sad, man. It's all over the place, man.
And No Doubt, like, to be honest with you, if they did that and made it like a gauntlet match for Cassidy to go through, I could buy it a little bit more. But then also, though, then you look at it as, do you see Orange Cassidy getting through Yuta, Pac, Castagnoli, and then Moxley? If they did that like in one night, you had to do it all in one night to get through all of them, to get to Moxley. Like, I just, again, now you're making him Superman, right? In a way, it feels like he's Cena, he's Super Cena, where he's going to go through all these guys and get the belt and win it. And maybe that's what they need to do with him. I don't know. But to me, I just feel like you had them in the career of Bryan Danielson. And then, no, I get that it'd be months, but to me, if you space it out over months, it doesn't do what it would mean for me for in a night, though. That's like, if every week he took on a different one and he advanced each time, like, I'd make him go through the whole thing in one night.
Sean, let's just keep it real, man. Orange Cassidy has no business going for the AEW World Championship match.
Well, what I was going to say was they went after Danielson. They left him laying, and it was all the young guys that were out there, right? The guys they showed was what? Orange Cassidy. It was Daniel Garcia. It was Hook. It was Darby Allin. And the only two that have been consistent in this whole thing have been Darby and OC. And Darby's gotten his ass kicked every time too.
Yeah.
And so now you've got, Garcia going after Perry now. And it's like, that's the part where it's like, I wish they would have kept the three of them, Garcia, Allen, and OC together to go against this group, kind of like setting up for a, whatever you want to look at it, war game style match, knowing that Bryan Danielson could return. But it just kind of feels like it was just dropped to where now it's OC versus Moxley. And to me, that doesn't mean much. So that's where I stand on that. And how we doing, Alexa? All right, so let's go ahead. Let's move on. Let's see. I think we've done enough on AEW, on the Dynamite there. All right, WWE War Games, Mr. Frankie Frezko. Let's see. Last night, if you watched it, the beginning of the show, it was recorded Raw, so maybe you knew the results already or whatever.
Yep.
They come out. It's man, I got to remember all these now. It is Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez. It's
Nia Jax,
Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae.
Yep.
Then you get Jade, Naomi, Bianca, and Io Sky out. And then I know Liv was like, my math doesn't math, but, when it maths, you guys still won. I know what's going to happen. Who's going to throw the punch?
Yeah.
And then the music hits, and Rhea comes out in this mask that is hideous. You have the Undertaker mask sitting in storage somewhere man, she could have came out with some crazy looking design mask. And instead it's just like this plain, like you could have done it in purple and black and had whatever, Rhea written on it or something. To me, they missed a little bit of a boat on it. But she comes out, she does the move that busted her orbital bone. Damn it. And then it's a fight, and she says War Games, and then they go at it. Do you like that whole situation with the ladies' War Games, women's War Games?
I mean, I don't know how Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez all became friends all of a sudden after they were going at it in whatchamacallit, leading up to Crown Jewel. So I don't understand that. I could understand Bianca Belair and Jade, and I could Candice LeRae. I don't know where she came from, and then
been trying to get on with Nia on SmackDown. She's been trying to shortcut Tiffany.
oh my God, you too, Alexa. Wow,
Yeah, no.
Jesus. Another person talking about Ecuador. Another person talking about Ecuador. Jesus Christ. Wow, man. Jesus. Anyways, it's just, it doesn't make any sense, man. And then they obviously, it looks like they rushed it and just threw everybody in there and said, hey, have a nice day. Here's everybody. And here's the cherry on top, Rhea Ripley. There you go. That's what they did. But there's no story behind it. There isn't. Let's just keep it real. Do we like it? Sure, why not? It's there. I wouldn't be surprised if that's like the first opening match of Survivor Series.
No, you can't have them. No, I guess you could start it. Yeah, I guess you could. That's crazy. Oh, I don't know what just happened. So now here's my thing with the women part of it is, like, I just don't feel like, to me, and again, and this is the get off my lawn guy talking right here, okay?
Mhm.
War Games is meant to settle wars. There's no feud there.
Except Liv Morgan and Rhea.
To me, just make it a 10 women tag, man. Like, it's still Survivor Series. That would have been a good one to do the traditional Survivor Series match. Where if you get pinned, you're eliminated. It could be 5-on-4, 5-on-1. That would have been a good match at Survivor Series to do the traditional match instead of putting them in War Games. Because the only part of the War Games that's anything is Liv and Rhea, really. Other than that, nobody's got any, like, ill will toward anybody for why they need a War Games match. You know, and so that's to me where, like, what's wrong with just doing a traditional Survivor Series match for them and then do the War Games match for the Bloodline? Because that is one that deserves a War Games match. As you said, this feels just thrown together, and let's do this when you could have had we're going back to the traditional Survivor Series matches, the style of match that started it all. And it's going to be these 10 women. Instead, no, you're throwing them in a cage for what?
Doesn't make any sense, man. If anything, if you wanted to bring in, all right, so if you had Raquel and you had Liv, right? So Raquel and Liv, and then you have obviously Rhea Ripley, right? So if you wanted to bring Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, then in my opinion, you should have brought it in Lash Legend and the other girl, Jackson or Jax, or I forgot her full name.
Jakari Jackson, isn't it?
Jakar Jackson. There you go. I get it right because there's actual storyline between them and Jade Cargill and all them, right? So now you have three. No, you have 4 on one side and 3 on the other, right? And then I think the reason they brought Io Sky is because she won the #1 contenders match, so she's gonna have to eventually face Liv Morgan later down. So that's why I think they brought her in. But I mean, it like you said, there's just too many people just stuck all together, and they're like, hey, we're just gonna throw it like that. There's nothing.
You're inside a cage and there's no animosity there. You're trying to create something that's not there. And honestly, I think Io Sky's in it so they can have one person go up to the top of the cage and jump off.
I wouldn't be surprised about that one. I don't think Io Sky needs to be in it. What they should have done is they should have removed. And here's I know I'm going back and forth here, but you put Io Sky, and now she's obviously challenging eventually Liv Morgan, but the beef between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan hasn't ended. So it's like, you kind of like screw yourself right there, because you're trying now to push Io Sky until Liv Morgan, but her feud with Rhea hasn't gotten done yet. It's still
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. No, no.
So you're hurting kind of Io in that, because it doesn't make any sense for Io to beat Liv Morgan, because then it demoralizes the whole feud between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. So that is just foolishness. That's why I was a little bit upset that Io Sky won. I think the one that should have won was Liva Valkyria that night, but whatever, because I felt like there's more options for her, and and she could take an L better than Io, and it won't hurt. It won't hurt Lyra. I think Lyra still has. Look at that video montage they did for her. That was really good. I'm not gonna lie, that I liked. So it's just little things like that, man. It just felt dumb. I felt rushed, but whatever. What we've been talking about a lot, Sean, or at least I have. I don't know if you've agreed with me. I don't think you have, but it's just sometimes some of the stuff that Triple H and WWE does is just basic, but the crowd loves it and feeds
Yeah.
off of it and says this is amazing. And that's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, look, you can't go wrong putting, anybody inside a cage. I mean, you're going to get a little bit of violence. You're going to get the crowd reaction. To me, though, it just feels like that would have been your chance to have the traditional match in there as well as the War Games match. And now you keep the War Games match. Why do you have to have a women's War Game match? Like, it doesn't have to be a men's and a women's. You don't have to always have, men's and women's being in the same thing. I get it for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, but then
set up for a match.
the women might get mad.
The title. No, but if you put them as the traditional, and then you could set it up to where, look, Io Sky comes down, again, the way the traditional match works is you start out 5-on-5. As you get pinned, you're eliminated. Think about this for Io Sky. It comes down to, everybody, whatever. Rhea gets disqualified, so she's eliminated or whatever, however you want to look at it. The final three would be Raquel, Liv, and Io Sky. And then somehow Io takes out Raquel, and then Liv cheats and pins her real quick when she wasn't expecting or something, and now you do that. In a War Games match, you have to have a decisive winner. In the other matches, you could get away with, even if you flipped it around and Io pins Raquel, Liv goes to try to cheat her, but Io turns it real quick and gets a quick pin on her. Now you set up to where she has beaten the champion, and you put a little bit more on there. Either way, it wouldn't have been bad. But when you go to a War Games match, that's definitive.
Yeah.
And now let's discuss the men's War Games match. 5-on-5. Big Bronson Reed gets added. And
I mean, I like the fact that they added Bronson Reed.
I do, but I don't. This is the thing, man. Why couldn't it be 4-on-4? Why did you have to add a fifth? Because that's the way it's always been, 5-on-5?
No, because 5 is better than 4.
But I mean, you're throwing guys in there now. Like, I'm very interested to see where this goes with Seth.
It's not throwing guys in there, though, because I don't feel like it's throwing guys in there, in my opinion. I don't feel like that.
No, you made Bronson, show up on SmackDown, which made sense for that. But you had Seth Rollins during the promo in the back say, look, I do it for you, I do it for you, I do it for you, but I'll never do it for Seth Rollins. I'm sorry, for Roman Reigns, because I'm not putting Roman Reigns back in charge again. And now what? Because Solo Sikoa stood up on a desk and he loses a match? That changes?
I say you run with this. When is Survivor Series, man?
Next the Saturday of Thanksgiving week. So next Saturday, I believe it is.
So we're like just 2 weeks away.
Yeah. But remember, they've already, I think, recorded. They're going to record the SmackDown this week because there's no. They're doing a live Raw, but not a live SmackDown. I believe SmackDown. Well, no, SmackDown's going to have to be live because that'll be the SmackDown before the PLE.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder how they're doing that.
No. If you do SmackDown, no, because you have Thanksgiving, and then you have SmackDown.
That Friday would be SmackDown.
But then that Saturday is not the PLE.
I think it is.
No, I thought you said it was 2 weeks from Thanksgiving. That's what I thought I
Oh, that
misinterpreted.
can't be December. It's the Saturday of Thanksgiving week whatever that is.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that they would have to. They should do that. They should go live for that SmackDown instead of recording it, because then it wouldn't make any sense. Because it would just be, nobody would tune in. That's one thing. The 30th, so it would be on the 30th, right?
Yeah, so it's that Saturday. Yeah, Saturday the 30th.
The thing I'm realizing, I don't know how the numbers did on Monday Night Raw, but we'll talk about it, I guess, when we talk about Monday Night Raw and SmackDown thoughts. But I feel like whenever some show is recorded, it kind of hurts.
Oh no, they were down. They were down, both of them.
Yeah, because everybody spoils it. Like, just keep it real.
Yeah. No, but then also too is like the thing that's hurting SmackDown now is before they were on Fox. Now you've got to go look for them. You got to go look for USA. If you want to watch it, you got to go look for it. You could stumble across Fox.
Yeah.
You don't stumble across USA. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. I mean, the numbers were going to go down, but like, I don't really like the fact that they did. But then again, you never know. Things can change because Heyman still hasn't surfaced. We saw how that, I mean, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. Let's dive into real quick, because there's not really a lot to get to on this topic, but I did want to get your thoughts on the next topic that we had, which is Becky Lynch.
Yes.
She was in a interview, and they asked her about her future. She said, "I'm training for this half marathon. I've been working on some other stuff I can't really talk about. But if you think that the way I'm going to go out after the career that I've had is with Dominic Mysterio slamming a door in my face, that's probably not going to happen. But when will that come back? I don't know. I've really been enjoying myself and working on some projects that I'm very excited about. Whenever I get to share them with you, I think they're pretty awesome. I think you're going to think they're pretty awesome. And yeah, we will see what the future holds." So your thoughts on, I mean, ultimately, where do you think the Becky Lynch stands? Where do you think we are with there?
Well, first and foremost, Becky Lynch is so hot. She's one of my favorite wrestlers. I love Becky Lynch. Like, Seth Rollins is a lucky man. Second of all, I do feel that she will eventually come back to wrestling. Now, her saying that, hey, my career is not going to end with Dom slamming the door or whatever, doesn't necessarily mean that her career will end with that particular moment. That doesn't necessarily also mean that she's going to jump back to the WWE world. My interpretation of it is, I will not end my wrestling career doing that. So whether she joins WWE again, whether she goes to AEW, where she goes to some other wrestling organization, I could see that happening. I don't see her necessarily having to come back to WWE, because she's going to be asking for a lot of money, and maybe WWE doesn't want to offer her all that money. So I would understand her leaving. And just because she leaves that WWE and decides to go somewhere else, that doesn't hurt her career. I think at the end of the day, it will help wherever she goes. Wherever she goes, people are going to be fans of Becky Lynch. I will always be a Becky Lynch fan, and I will always follow her no matter where she goes. But I do feel that she will be back to wrestling, but I wouldn't be shocked the longer this prolongs, that she's not in WWE, the longer it lasts, 2-3 years or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't make it back to WWE and she decides to go somewhere else.
Well, here's the thing I got. I think if she's going to, and what's up, Sam? Appreciate you jumping in, man. The question I would have is this. If she's saying if she doesn't come back full time, is she going to demand as much money?
She should.
I'm not saying she shouldn't, but will it be able to be on a thing? Because here's my question for you, Frankie, and I'm going to ask point blank. You're Becky Lynch.
My Becky.
You're Becky.
Yes, sir.
What's your decision?
My decision as far as what?
Where do you go when you come back?
If I'm Becky?
Yep.
Sorry, I just wanted to put the hat back.
I know. Yeah, you gotta put it back on, man.
No, I had it. I just have it backwards. I just wanted Finn's TV to see if I had.
Yeah. Vamos Colombia. Yep. You're good.
Don't start, Sean. Don't start. We keep soccer apart. You want to talk football? We can talk football. Okay? Talk football. Big O's already tagging me at stupid things, and I'm already upset at him as well. I saw what he tagged me on Twitter, and I'm
I
already
didn't know
upset.
that. I'm sorry, bro.
He already tagged me on some. He keeps thinking that I don't. Whatever. At this point in time, he's making me let me talk to you at least for one more week. I'm telling you right now. Anyways, what was the question again? Sorry.
You're Becky Lynch. What is your decision?
If I'm Becky,
Yes.
I just come back to wrestling, man. I come back to wrestling, and I'm still gonna ask for a lot of money because I already built my name. My name is who it is. I'm Becky Lynch, man. I don't need to get underpaid. I'm wherever I go, fans are gonna come. So I'm gonna expect money. It's kind of like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor already built his name, so every time Conor McGregor fights, he's gonna ask for a lot of money because he's already built his name. Same thing with Becky. So whether she comes and fights once or comes and fights 20,000 times, she should get. She's gonna ask. If I was her, I would ask for tons of money. And then second of all, if WWE doesn't want to give it to me, then I'll go somewhere else who will give it to me because I'm pretty sure somebody else will. At least I think Tony Khan would definitely do that.
Be interesting. You know what? That's going to be an interesting situation if that does arise and it comes down to a bidding war. But we'll see which way Becky goes. And
no doubt. I do not want her to go to AEW. I honestly feel that would hurt her. To be honest with you, if they're gonna do the same thing that they did to Mercedes Moné, I don't want her in AEW. I want her to go somewhere else. Go to Japan. Go something. I mean, I know she has her kids and stuff, her kid and stuff. So I don't see her going overseas, but there has to be something out there. Or maybe she decides to do something. Maybe even she would. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Becky Lynch goes and says, "You want to know something? I want to start an all women's wrestling, or go to an all women's. I don't know if there's an all women's wrestling and just build that up.
Women of Wrestling. That's what AJ Lee's a part of.
Maybe she could do that and then help build that up. It'll be the first. Like she would be the big name for that women's wrestling, and just maybe people will tune in more often. And then you don't know where that could take you. I think that would be a pretty cool idea if she actually went with AJ Lee and actually did that.
You never know, man. We'll see where it goes. Maybe that'll be something that WWE discusses, and down the line they'll let her be a part of that as well as part of the deal with her contract or something. I don't know. The way WWE's working now, they're going to let people work with other people. That's going to be interesting too to see how that goes back and forth and how the tug and how much rope and freedom is given when everything hits the wall, I guess is the question. It's all good to talk about now and everything else, but once it got to be put in action, we'll see what happens. All right, SmackDown and Raw thoughts are on the way. And for you, Mr. Frankie Frezko, I know you were having a great time watching SmackDown, right?
Yeah, man, I thought they did a phenomenal job when it came to bringing in Roman Reigns again, and then now all of a sudden we're incorporating Paul Heyman back into this. So this is the thing where I think WWE does a really, really good job. It keeps the casual fan and the hardcore fan thinking what's next. And I think that's where they hit the spot. Now, could they have brought in Paul Heyman a little bit sooner? Yes, in my opinion, obviously because of the whole NXT situation, and I felt like they kind of dropped the ball on that.
Yeah.
But still, that doesn't mean that now you're intrigued, because now I started seeing things. I saw people start talking about, hey, what happens if Paul Heyman all of a sudden come with CM Punk all of a sudden? So now you start people wondering, and when we were talking, because me and Sean were talking a little bit off air, before the show, we were talking about, hey, the Solo broke his phone, and remember there was a couple times when Paul Heyman actually said, "Yo, I haven't spoken to Roman Reigns." So if now you start thinking back about those old episodes, and if you're really involved in this storyline, you might even go back and try to watch some of those Monday Night Raw shows right before Paul Heyman got, put through that table, and then start thinking, "Oh, how can I relate that to what's coming up next?" So I think that's where it hits the spot when it comes to WWE. I think that's where they do a phenomenal job in that aspect. So yeah, I was really, really excited for them to do it. And I thought that was the best way to end the show by having Roman Reigns obviously call, and then the phone is obviously disconnected, but we don't know. We don't know if it's because it's still broken, or maybe he just doesn't want to answer his phone calls anymore because he never answered his phone calls in the first place. So it
Yeah,
brings a
the
lot of
interesting thing to me though too was the way I believe it was Jay was yelling at him, "Make the call, make the call." And we've heard that numerous times, I believe, from Jimmy and Jay both. You're gonna have to make the call. You need to make the call, and he would never make the call. And it again, part of the story when you're looking at it is like, where remember the last when Roman loses the title, they made sure on WrestleMania to catch that moment, right? Of Roman looking back at the thing and Heyman kind of give him the hug, and then they walk off the stage together. And then it was after that, they hadn't talked after that. That was it. So I'm wondering if something else comes out and we start getting, because again, WWE Master are doing the behind the scenes type thing, or maybe all of a sudden something shows up kind of like Wyatt 6 type.
or
Here's a video that's been given to us, and it's backstage at WrestleMania where Heyman, Roman maybe goes to his locker room, kind of just shuts the door. Heyman's like standing there like, what the hell goes, maybe, I'm saying they could do anything. But it just, again, it adds so much to it. And the problem I have with some of the other stuff that I've noticed that happens a lot with fans, whether it's WWE, AEW, we talk ourselves into, oh, he's going to bring in CM Punk. And then they don't bring in CM Punk, and then everybody's like, oh, this is the stupid. This
only,
why wouldn't you do what I said to do?
only if whatever they do kind of doesn't live up to expectation.
Yeah, but see, this is where, again, they said, oh, we're in the third inning. And now if you look at this whole thing now, all of a sudden, and now you've brought Bronson Reed in. Yeah. You might have brought Seth in. You brought Cody in. KO snapped because of Cody really going with Roman. Remember, that started the whole KO snap situation too.
How smart.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when you look at all the layers, I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know where it's going to end.
If you want my honest opinion, I want Paul Heyman to show up in Survivor Series, act like he's gonna help Roman, and betray the original bloodline.
It would be interesting because there's been pictures of, they're doing the whole thing where he comes out and he's, you think about it, how he always said, here's my tribal chief is Roman Reigns. What if it ends up being, my boss is The Rock. My final boss is The Rock, like you said, because we all know The Rock is the one pulling the strings on the other end, we think. So what if it's actually Heyman took the bump to however you want to look at it, like, hey, you have to do something to me to make them think that I'm out of this, and then I come back, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it figures into the storyline. If because Paul Heyman's the guy that's going to sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
And then now he comes back like he's going to make the save. And then, like you said, and it's not. That's going to be it's going to be interesting. Snap is an old-timey term. The term is now crash out. Whatever. Kevin Owens KO crashed out. There you go. You happy? Get off my lawn.
Get off his lawn.
Get off my lawn.
I think in order for you to be able to, in order for you to make this storyline be a big impact when it comes to the Wise Man, is you have him betray the OTC, and then you either line him up with The Rock or line him up with, possibly CM Punk or just something, or keep him still involved, or actually line up with, the new tribal chief. The issue is that's too much for WWE. I feel that he's just gonna come and maybe Roman is at a point where he's gonna get beat, and then here comes Paul Heyman, and then Heyman kind of rescues him, gives him like that extra energy boost, like Popeye the Sailor Man. You give him that spinach, and then all of a sudden Roman Reigns wins, and the original Bloodline wins. Because if you looked at it, dude, the guy went ahead and did Superman punches to everybody on SmackDown, except Solo. They're finally getting it. They're finally getting it, in my opinion. That at least they're making the same. Hey, Solo, at least is always getting the upper hand over Roman, but you're still giving Superman punches to all these guys and beating them up. Like he always finds a way. Like if he's a Superman compared to all of them, so it's like
He is the OTC. I mean, but
yeah,
also Jacob Fatu has become and then Bronson Reed now, man. I mean, that was a beatdown that on Friday night, bro. That was a beatdown. I was like, damn, when him and Jacob Fatu, they did the splash, and then Fatu did the hip check, and then it was they did the back onto his stomach. I forgot what the hell it's called when they kick out. Damn it. And then the tsunami, and like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like you put them into the ground pretty much. But I mean, I know you say it's too much for them, but I feel like at this point, you're gonna have to do something, because this is Survivor Series, so your next big one is Royal Rumble, and you're back at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
like at some point, something's got to turn again to get the ball rolling. Now, again, the problem they're gonna have with this one is I know The Rock's movie just came out, so I don't know if he's still on the press doing the press tour or if he could make it to Survivor Series at the end of this.
well, even if you don't bring The Rock involved, you still have that whole situation with with Cody and Roman, and you could run that back because that was the original, kind of like the idea, or you could still make storylines off of that and make it legitimate for WrestleMania. So that's why I feel like if they bring The Rock right now for WrestleMania or coming up or when WrestleMania is approaching, great. And if they don't, I still think they have enough storylines to go ahead and be able to carry WrestleMania with the guys that they have available at that time.
Yeah, I believe they do. But the question then goes to, what will The Rock be in 2 years?
He'll be The Rock, and everybody's gonna love him, and everybody's gonna say, "Oh wow," because that's what he is.
Holy shit! I don't know who the hell that. What's the girl on the Catch Quarter Crew?
Catch Quarter Crew.
Isn't that the name of the group with Regal's son, Charlie Dempsey? What's the group called?
Oh, that's I don't remember the name of that group. The Italian, no. That's Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah. Charlie Dempsey, the Cup. They have the Cup.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Oh, the Catch Quarter Crew, but I don't know if that's correct.
I don't know if that's their name.
Because the girl is fighting Zariah, and she just missile launched herself through the ropes. And if Zariah wasn't there, she might have made it all the way back to the locker room. She was like hauling.
Wow, really?
Yeah. She was like flying, man. Let's see here. Snapped is old timey. What? That is news to me. I must be getting old. No doubt we are, buddy. We are so old. I remember when the Seminoles were good.
That was funny. And the Seminoles were good.
My wife told me I am old because
Ren
the ankle. I don't know if she's messing with me or not.
That's Ren Sinclair, right?
Ren Sinclair, yes, yeah, I believe that's
her.
I want to say Aaron Sinclair or something, but Ren Sinclair. Okay, yeah,
that's her.
So you're old if you wear socks that cut off below the ankle? I thought those are the ones you're supposed to wear. No,
my wife told me I am old because I wear socks that cut off below the ankle, and I don't know if she's messing with me or not.
See, the problem is, no doubt, I am old and I wear those socks. So I don't know if I'm helping you or not. And you're right. Last year,
you like those? I mean, I wear all types of socks. So sometimes they're the really short ones. Sometimes they're the really long ones. I wear all of them.
And I don't know that I have any long ones anymore. Like I just wear the short ones. I throw my socks on and my shoes on, and bam. All right, so now we're going to.
Well, but before we go to the wheel,
Right.
So when we talk about the Raw situation, I think the Raw being taped hurt Raw obviously because a lot of people knew what was happening,
Yeah.
and then but I still think that they delivered as far as like the videos, like the Wyatt Six video was really good with the Miz and all that stuff, and you're seeing Bo Dallas get more and more become more like Bray Wyatt, so I thought that was really good. I also felt that Bronson Reed, not Bronson Reed, this guy, Braun Breaker match with Sheamus really delivered. I wasn't happy that it ended with Luther Kaiser getting involved, but I
You
thought
know
that
you wanted Ludwig Kaiser.
I didn't want Ludwig Kaiser back in there, but it was a really I again I think they could build something on that Sheamus versus Braun Breaker, and I think that could have even been a match that you could put in an actual kind of like their live event. So, but it was a good Monday Night Raw. It just sucks that it was the video that it was recorded already because a lot of this we knew what was gonna happen. We knew that Bronson Reed and the whole
Yeah.
the
I mean,
bloodline was gonna get
kudos
together and
to
all that.
WWE for giving their talent some time off during the holidays, because that used
That's
to
nice.
be
That is nice of
that
them.
used to be the because I was thinking, I was like, man, how shitty am I of a person where I'm like, damn, I hate these shows being recorded, but then I expect these guys and gals to be away from their families. While for what? For my entertainment? Because I gotta watch it live. It can't be recorded. Like, come on.
Well, the NFL don't give a damn. The NFL plays Thanksgiving games.
No, I know. I mean, look, this week they got Christmas too, buddy.
Money talks, baby. Money talks.
Yeah, although the Christmas one might be a lot of buffering.
That's funny because of Netflix. I get it. I will say this: if they wanted to give time, what they should do in for the future is kind of give half of the roster Thanksgiving off, and then give the other half of the roster for Christmas, and then flip flop it each year, something like that. That way, and you're still not gonna lose the value of it. I don't like the recording, but if the NFL is able to show football games, not the whole league is playing on Thursday, Thanksgiving, but you still got some of them wrestling. So I think it's a good way to actually bring some of the guys from NXT over.
Yeah, the Survivor Series pay-per-view used to be on Thanksgiving night every year.
Look at that.
And that's where the gobbledygooker came from.
Oh, wow. Very interesting.
All right, so Joey R says, I'm approaching middle age, but I keep up with the lingo to make my nieces and nephews cringe. I do that for my daughter. Like, every time they come home with something, I'll do whatever the lingo is at this time, but I don't keep up with it.
I keep up with it in two different ways. Number one,
that's because you're my DJ. He's my DJ.
So I DJ, so I deal with a lot of young people, middle-aged people, old people. So I kind of get all
what's
three.
Middle age, Joey? What area are you? I got to hear what's considered middle age right now. What is that?
I would assume it's like 30 to 40. That's middle age, in my opinion. Young is under 30. Middle age is between 30 and 40, and then old is when you start hitting the 50s. And then the other reason I'm able to go ahead and kind of understand this lingo is because of my brother. So a lot of his friends are my friends, and his friends teach me things. And I'm like, see, look, he's 37. You see, I figured.
So what am I, ancient? I'm like dinosaur.
How old are you, Sean?
You don't want to know, bro.
You look like you're 55.
Well, damn, I feel better now. Thanks.
Are you younger than that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. No, you sound like you're older than that, but I just threw a number. I thought 55 was
30 to 55 is middle age, in my opinion. I'm middle aged, baby. Woo-hoo!
No. For me, I think middle age is 30 to 50. 30
I'm middle age, baby. I'm middle age.
30 to like 40. Okay, I'll say 30 to like 45, 46.
Oh, why you keep going down, man? Like what the hell?
Sean, I'm right there with you. I'm 40 years old, dude. I'm no shame in me. Even though people
right there with me, bro.
Even though people are telling me, Frankie,
You're not right there with me.
Even though a lot of people have said, Frankie, you don't look 40. You look like you're 35, 32, 33. You're looking in the mid 30s. I'm like, all right, cool. I hope I could keep that look for the next 5 years. So I just turned 40, guys. So it's like
my daughters and the son put the age on me quick. Let me tell you.
Well, that's a thing. A lot of people always ask me, hey, Frank, how are you able to not look or reveal 40? I said, I don't have any kids and I'm not married.
Smart. Yeah, the wife will do it to you too.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Next year I'll be
50?
half a century. Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one, no doubt. If you cannot get an AARP card, you're not old.
I'm almost there. I got the mail. The mail's coming. The mail's sending them now.
I know I'm getting old, guys, because maybe 4 weeks ago, I did a DJ gig, and I was lifting the speakers up, and my back pulled, and that's how I said, "Crap, I'm getting old." So now, when I go and actually, obviously, my back is doing a lot better, but I actually had to wear a back brace. So I usually wear, not to just protect myself, I always wear a back brace because these speakers that I carry, bro, they don't weigh 5 pounds, bro. Some of them weigh about 50, 60 pounds, so I have to be able to lift that stuff up, and I'm not that young anymore. I mean, I'm still young. 40's not that bad, bro. 40's is the new 30's, baby.
I wish I was 40, man.
That's what my parents says too. My parents said the same thing. I wish I was 40. I said, yeah, I mean, I guess. It just hit me because I went from 39 to 40. I was like, damn, I hit the 40s, bro. That sucks this year. Like, at least I could think and say, hey, man, yeah, you see? Oh, thank you, Joey. See, that's what I was thinking too. Like, a lot of people tell me that stuff, and I always tell them the secret, man. The secret sauce is don't have kids and don't have a wife.
I think Joey's got bad internet. That's why you're looking like you're young.
I like Joey, man. Joey's the only one.
I love Joey. I appreciate him.
Joey's the only one that did not talk about soccer. So, Joey, right now, you're my number one fan. I like it. I approve. All the other ones, go away. I think even No Doubt talked about Ecuador. Spin that wheel, baby. I like the wheel, actually. I think
Are you ready for the wheel?
Yes, the wheel is so much fun.
All right, so here we go. I'll spin the wheel. Give me a minute. Be right back. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to get the wheel to spin. There we go. WWE in the Sphere. What say you, Frankie Frezko? Should it happen?
Number one, let me tell you something.
Dude.
If WWE doesn't do it, they're stupid.
Yes.
Because you could get way more money and get people to pay a shitload of money than WrestleMania if you did it in the Sphere. I'm telling you right now. Like, if you did anything.
How the wrestling ring would look, the upper seat, because it's kind of like what O told me. I wasn't there.
Well, look at the UFC fight.
It's a steep. It's kind of like a steep.
Yeah, but
drop down at the top there. So
but look, did you see the UFC fights that were at the Sphere? Isn't the octagon the same size, kind of like as the ring?
The octagon might be almost a little bit smaller, possibly.
But I mean,
the rig and all that stuff. I mean, again, I don't know how they set it up there. I don't know how they. But then again, if you show the picture of the ring and it's the whole back, it'll be like you're sitting there like that one sports bar. I don't know if you've seen that one sports bar. It looks like you're on the field in the football games. Like you're like right there on the thing. I mean, the thing that I would love to see, and I know he probably won't do it again. He's already said he won't do it anymore. But I would love to see like an Undertaker entrance. At the Sphere, like
wow, bro. And to answer your question,
is even the Wyatt 6. I would love to see that entrance too, like at a Sphere.
Joey, it's okay. It's okay. At least you were not. I said, all I know is that the fans crashed out at that championship game earlier this year at the Hard Rock. Yeah,
they crashed out, in, up, over.
Yeah, but we don't need to talk about that. All we gotta talk about is wrestling. And how many people fit in the Sphere? I looked it up. It says it accommodates close to 20,000.
Yeah. It wouldn't. It's not like you're gonna look for a. But again,
the ticket's gonna cost an arm and a leg, bro.
It's an intimate setting, and you're looking at this big ass screen that's gonna probably show the whole match while you're doing it. So like, I don't know that there's a.
That'd be badass.
A bad seat. The only thing I don't know is how good the ones will look that are, again, if you're trying to look into the ring, if you're just sitting there watching the screen, you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it did read that, no doubt. It did say, but it says the Sphere in Las Vegas can seat 18,600 people and accommodate 20,000 people.
Yeah,
stand.
because what O said was the floor doesn't have seats, and I don't remember, and I didn't pay attention at the UFC one. Did they have the seats down on the floor?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so then yeah, that'd be your extra whatever, depending on the setup that way of what you want to do. That's where you get the rest of the seats. Again, I wouldn't do a. You know what I would do? I would do a Saturday night main event there.
Nah.
Yeah, do a smaller show. You're not going to do a big show there.
Do NXT, baby. NXT.
Okay, well, no, that would work too. NXT, I just don't know how many you're gonna get full. Oh, you would, because the Sphere's more of an attraction too. So every fan's gonna want to see wrestling in that building.
Now, how much would you be willing to pay?
See, that's because like for me, like I don't like paying a lot, man. You know me, bro. You know me. I don't pay a lot for wrestling. You seen where I remember we went to that one show. Where was I sitting?
The Sunday Stunner?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
sit
you're-
like in the second level, first 2 rows, so I can see to the ring. Like I don't need to be up in the front, you know.
Well, for me, I wouldn't be like down on the bottom or anything like that. I just need to have a seat in there. But I'm assuming, like what No Doubt says, imagine Super Bowl ticket prices. You're looking at $10,000 to just get in. Would you be willing to pay that?
No.
I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't. $10,000, no, man. I mean,
also, though,
if I
but-
had the money.
Even if I had the money, I don't think I'm paying that, man.
Well, the only way I would win, I mean, I would try my best to try to win it on the Hard Rock app, but that's pretty much it. If I can't win it. I can't win it. Can't go.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but let me. Here we go.
The entrance would be badass.
Yeah. All right, number 2. What do we got? What say you? Man, what the hell?
Another one.
Yeah, WrestleMania in Wembley.
Yes.
Yes. Although it's funny because if they do the WrestleMania in Wembley, that means what? AEW couldn't do Wembley for what is it? 3 months, 6 months, or something like that. They got to where they kind of track down their thing there. So I mean, again, I think I like what they've been doing. The big 4 kind of in the U.S. at stadiums, the other ones abroad.
Now, if you do WrestleMania in Wembley and the ticket prices packages is like about $7,000 or $10,000, that maybe I would contemplate doing, because not only am I visiting a different country, you
Yeah,
know,
it depends what the packages are, right? I'd have to see what that is, because the problem with WrestleMania 2 though is that yes, you get the package, but there's different packages.
Yeah, but you're traveling to a new country. Imagine if they also include the flight, the actual hotel, or the
No,
place
that's
you're
what I'm saying.
gonna stay at.
Depending on
That'd be pretty cool.
what's included, because then you have the SmackDown, you have the Hall of Fame, you have the NXT,
It's badass,
you have 2 nights of WrestleMania, and you have Raw.
dude. You're going ham in wrestling.
So you have a shit ton of wrestling. And then through all that, you still have the access events all through the week.
Yeah, I mean that should be worth $10,000. I would rather pay $10,000 for that than $10,000 to go see just a regular wrestling match in the Sphere. How about night 1 at Wembley and night 2 in the U.S.?
Well, what are we trying to do here? We trying to do WrestleMania, what was it, 2 or 3? I think it was 2.
I will say
WrestleMania 2, they did 1 in Chicago, 1 in Madison Square Garden, and 1 in L.A.
Yeah, and how did that work? That one was terrible.
And I was like,
They were off in every
my
single one.
God. It was just like,
That was the one when Vince said, "Yo, that's the last time we ever try that."
dude, it was like, just like, oh.
It was bad.
But man, if you did night 1 in Wembley, imagine if you did like the say like this year, The Rock and them fought at Wembley in night 1, then had to fly to the U.S. for night 2.
Maybe you could do Wembley and then another big stadium out not too far away from Wembley. You could probably do that, since it's all those countries are close to each other in Europe. I don't know how far Germany would be, but maybe they could do something like that where they're like, oh, on our Europe WrestleMania, we're gonna do Wembley night 1 and then Germany night 2, and it could probably work that way. Maybe they could, and then you're gonna get, the fans are gonna be thrilled because you're gonna get both. You're gonna be able to go to the and the packages will even be more badass, because imagine if you get to go to England, and then on top of that, then you got to go to Germany. That's pretty cool. Like that one is well worth it, bro. Like I would seriously consider it. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, but the only problem with that logistically would be the WWE would also have to set up 2 fan accesses. That's a lot logistically.
Charge, baby. Charge that money. You charge the right amount of money. Talks, baby. If people buy it, hey, I'm setting up everything.
Yeah, value is what somebody will pay for it. So
yeah, exactly.
Always the gist of it. So, all right, that was our spin the wheel segment.
Wait, we can't do one more. Let's do one more because we did 2 of just
Damn you! All right,
just one more. Okay, hold on. Let the chat board decide. Chat, do you want to see one more spin the wheel? One more or no more? And then while you guys are writing on a chat board, don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. Frankie Frezko channel, Sean Stanley Media House. Follow us.
You know what?
Share it.
We're going for it. We're spinning the wheel one more time. Is they spin?
Why are we getting this one, man? Damn it! But we got to talk about it, man. Gable Stevenson, sir. Talk to me, man. Do you know? Okay, so the reason we have Gable Stevenson is because they interviewed him, right? They were talking to him, and he left. They fired him from WWE, and he tried football. I didn't even know that he tried football, and he didn't make the cut.
Never played football. He tried to a Brock Lesnar, basically.
It's like spin it again.
We're gonna spin it again.
Yeah, I don't know if he's mentioned it because he wanted us to spin it again or because that topic sucks. But I mean, look, he went ahead and what did he say? I think what he said was that he has no ill to WWE first and foremost, but he feels that maybe it was that they didn't utilize him as best as he could, something like that. I remember.
I think what he thought he was going to be was kind of like the next Kurt Angle.
I thought he was going to be the next.
I come in as a
breaker.
Wrestler. I kind of come in and I'm an Olympic athlete. I do this, and the problem now though is that for him, I just didn't feel like. Yes, he had the athleticism, but everything else just wasn't there.
He didn't have the character, right?
Nah, it just was like
he was the Ronda Rousey type of character.
Yeah, like he was an '80s guy where like he would scare you, but nowadays those characters don't work as much in wrestling because everybody doesn't think it's legit. It's kind of they understand what wrestling is now.
Wait, so
if you were big and built and you're going in there and you know how to shoot fight, which he does, you end up scaring a lot of people.
Wait, so you mean 80s type of look? Is that what you're saying? Like people don't like the 80s type of look?
No.
Then you don't agree with the AEW those 2 guys that are teaming up with FTR all the time?
I love them guys.
But you just finished saying that it doesn't work for the guys with the 80s look.
They're not 80s guys. Look, man. 80s
They're from Miami too.
Listen, first off, 80s guys are like Cowboy Ron Bass.
What is their name?
Black Bart, Stan Hansen. Big guys that had no muscle definition. So that's more of the 80s look is what I'm talking about.
I don't know, man. I was born in the 80s, so I don't know that. I'm sorry, Sean.
Shut the hell up, you jackass. And that's it for Spin the Wheel. I'm not doing another one because we'll probably land on Gable Stevenson again.
What is the name of that group, though? The one AEW group with that they're like from Miami.
It's Truth Magnum, Flash. What the hell are they?
I don't know.
God damn it.
But they have that.
Wait, the Outrunners.
The Outrunners.
I'm looking at the damn AEW Full Gear card and I almost forgot they were on it.
They're on it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm happy that you've been paying attention. All right, it's the Spin the Wheel is done.
Oh.
It is now time for our AEW Full Gear picks. I know what this is. This is what everybody's been waiting for. Everybody's been waiting for this because my picks are terrible. I can never pick good in AEW. I never do good in AEW picks.
I haven't even looked at the card, to be honest with you.
That's all right. You'll still beat me.
Kicking off the event, pre-show, AJ from Costco Guys takes on QT Marshall. What?
Yep.
Who the hell's Costco Guys?
The one that power bombed QT and cost him the CCW heavyweight title.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh wow, they're doing 0 hour in the pre-show. Wow, that's impressive. Is it because of is CCW getting involved in there too?
Oh
In a
no,
way?
that was the setup for this. It originally wasn't like they're actually doing something on Dynamite. They weren't going to. They weren't going to give them like real TV time.
Yeah.
But they decided to because the guy AJ's been promoting it a lot. He actually went to Times Square and cut like a promo and everything else. And so
That's really cool that they did that.
So 0 hour, I'm going with Costco guy AJ, man. Feel the boom.
Okay, so a lot of you guys probably don't know who this Costco guy is, and neither do I. Mean, I the only way I knew.
Anybody that eats cookies is good for me.
So I know him because I did see him sell with QT Marshall and CCW was like kind of promoting it and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna go with the Costco guy. I said QT Marshall wins, bro.
What are you talking about? It's a 0 hour. It means nothing. Costco guy gets the victory.
Well, first and foremost, I'm not a Costco guy. I'm more of a BJ's. BJ's, and only because Costco's not around my block, so I only have BJ's around where I live. So I'm going with QT Marshall. Maybe QT Marshall should rep one, either Sam's or BJ's.
All right, then we go to the 4-way match for the AEW Tag Team titles. Private Party versus the House of Black versus the Acclaimed versus the Outrunners.
I like it. It's so funny. I didn't even know they were in this. That's how I'm so involved in this pay-per-view. All right, so you got Private Party defending
Yes,
the
it's
belt.
that Boom guy. The Boom guy is Costco guy. Yes.
Yeah. The Kings of Black Throne. So it was. So wait, hold on a second. I just want to make sure
It's King of Black Throne, House of Black, whatever the hell they are this week.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with it. They changed their name. No, okay, House of Black, Private Party. Who's the other group?
The Outrunners and the Acclaimed.
Oh, the Acclaim is the last one. Okay, yeah. So the Acclaim, yeah, because I think it was on Collision that they did whatever. All right, so look, man, I honestly feel, which is crazy, but I honestly feel that the Outrunners, the House of Black, and the Acclaim are better. Like they're very strong compared to the actual champions, Private Party. Logistically, or like if I'm doing this correctly, Private Party just won the belts from the Young Bucks, so they should retain it. In my opinion, I still feel that they're not gonna do that. I still feel somebody else is gonna win it. So I don't think the Outrunners are gonna win it. I don't think Private Party is gonna win this one, and I don't think Kings of Black of Throne, aka House of Black, is gonna win it. Although I would like them to win it. I'm gonna go with the Acclaim. I said the Acclaim pulled it off.
I'm going with House Party or whatever they are.
Private Party?
Yeah, House Party. I got Fresh Prince and no, Kid and Play, right? Kid and Play was House Party. Is that what it was? Right?
Yeah, Kid and Play, yeah.
All right, I'm going. Yeah. You can't have them beat the Young Bucks and then lose in their first defense. And that would just seem like then the Young Bucks run was useless. To me, that's what I think.
I agree with you, but I think Tony Khan doesn't know what he's doing, so I think that's why he'll get the belt away from him.
Here is the Happy Gilmore 2 match. MJF takes on Roderick Strong. And the reason I call it the Happy Gilmore 2 match is because I feel like it would have been Adam Cole if MJF was on TV to promote it. But since he wasn't, they aren't going to waste no promotion to put Adam Cole against MJF. So it is MJF versus Roderick Strong.
You know, for me, out of everything that happened on Dynamite, I actually thought that they got that right. I maybe it was by mistake, but I actually thought that they finally got something right where they didn't automatically just put MJF and Adam Cole.
They didn't rush it. They didn't rush it.
They actually did the right thing and actually put Roderick Strong. So I like Roger Strong. I like MJF, but of course, it's going to lead up to Adam Cole versus MJF. So I'm going to go with MJF winning it.
Yeah, I think MJF wins it and then probably attacks Roderick, which brings Adam out.
Yes.
And then he probably powders, and I don't think they go at each other. But that's my feeling. Or maybe Adam Sandler comes in with a golf club. Oh, my God. He's Adam Sandler's son in Happy Gilmore 2.
Why would Adam Sandler come out with a golf club?
He's his son in Happy Gilmore.
Oh, because he did the movie. You're right.
Yes.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yes. When's the movie come out?
I don't know, but that should be a good movie.
Dude, if they do the Adam Cole match right when that comes, that would be the spot. That would be the spot.
On a Wednesday Dynamite, too.
Wow, that'd be a Friday Rampage, at least. That's a Rampage spot.
Collision, maybe.
All right. It is the Hurt Syndicate's Bobby Lashley taking on Swerve. Whose house? Strickland. And also, you know what the question I have here too is? I don't know if you saw Swerve post a thing with his shoulder saying he got hurt by the Hurt Syndicate. He was taken out. Interesting to see how this plays out.
The Hurt Syndicate just came. They're trying to sell him. It just wouldn't make any sense for Bobby to lose. I go with Bobby 100%. If Swerve beats them, I would be so mad at AEW.
I would have to see who's booking this.
Because Swerve has nobody backing him. All he has is the guy who dances.
Prince Nana, man.
Prince Nana.
Put respect on Nana's name.
And that's it. Swerve doesn't have anybody unless he brings back. Are those other guys that he used to have in his crew still in AEW, or they already got kicked out?
No, Brian Cage and them, right?
Yeah, Brian Cage. Well, I know Brian Cage is the other guy. I forgot.
Oh, the Gates of Agony.
The Gates of Agony. There you go. Those guys.
Well, they beat him up. They put him out. Remember? I mean,
no, but I'm saying, are they still in AEW?
They jumped him, man. You can't trust those guys again.
I mean, I just at the end of the day, I feel like he doesn't have anybody backing him up. So if he doesn't have anybody backing him up, well, the whole Hurt business is intact.
Oh, no doubt says Swerve has the people.
Yeah, but the people can't get in the ring. So, I mean, maybe Ricochet gets involved, but I don't know. I say Bobby. I got Bobby all day, bro.
Yeah, I can't go against Bobby Lashley because of the reason you said. Like, how do you start the Hurt Syndicate that week if he loses to Swerve? You've already had Shelton lose to Swerve, and now you have Bobby Lashley lose to Swerve.
And then Swerve
that's the WWE move right there.
And Swerve only has Prince Nana. He doesn't have anybody else. Like, he needs some people to help him out.
Yep, I agree. Jay White versus Hangman Page.
This is such a not they were selling it a lot, and then eventually they kind of let it go. I think it's because it's on Collision. I think Hangman wins, bro. This is a kind of like a toss up for me. I haven't been paying too much attention to the storyline, so I just know Hangman is wild and crazy. So I'm gonna pick him instead of.
I feel like he's been on a losing streak, and I agree with it. I feel like he needs a win. I mean, I know he got the win over Swerve, but then he loses the next pay-per-view to Jay White.
Yeah, and not only that, but how can you lose when you burn somebody's house down? I wouldn't. If you burn somebody's house down, you should not actually be losing. You should be whooping everybody's ass because that's badass.
I mean,
that's badass. You
burnt the house down and sat there drinking a scotch as it burned behind him.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I do have to ask a question though.
If Memo keeps putting posts of Ecuador in the thing, I might have to go burn his house down.
My question is this, man. How come the fire department never responded?
Because it was in the middle of nowhere, actually.
Is his home, his childhood homes in the middle of nowhere?
Didn't you see that? There was only like trees around his area.
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't believe that's where he grew up. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher.
How you go first on this one?
Dude, if they give it to Kyle Fletcher,
the only way you could give it to Kyle is if somebody from his posse,
yeah. You know what's funny is Takeshita's not on the show. I bet you Takeshita costs this match to start setting up Will Ospreay and Takeshita or something. So I can see that. I can see Kyle Fletcher, and honestly, I think the other guy's going to turn on Ospreay, Mark Davis. the partner of Fletcher that just came back. Because if you watch him, like he hasn't laid a hand on Fletcher yet, and he kind of got upset with Ospreay when he went after him. So
Well,
I don't know if there's something there or if they're just kind of making it look that way so you think that's what's going to happen and it doesn't happen. But I think something actually might happen in this. I think you might kind of got me. I think Kyle Fletcher might win this because it'll help him get a cheat win over Ospreay.
I got, so you got Kyle Fletcher. I got Will Ospreay.
Yeah. TNT Championship match. Does anybody know if Jack Perry ever got off the car? Is he still, like, are they going to pull up to the stadium with him on the bus still?
I saw that highlight, man. That was a pretty cool video, man. That they had him like.
I just don't understand how you can commit so many crimes and never get arrested.
That is true. Like what they did to him is probably what I would probably do to Josh after the Ecuador game.
Wow, Josh, huh?
Yeah, because Josh was talking a lot of crap. So I probably put Josh in front of the hood and
Jack
drive him out.
Perry, Daniel Garcia.
Come on, man. I mean, I keep seeing Danny trying. Man, damn, this is also like another toss up. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't think either one of them could go bad, even though Jack Perry doesn't like fight as much anymore now. But I'm gonna go with. I say Jack Perry wins, bro. I'm going just for the hell of it. Jack Perry. I think he deserves a win. When you put somebody in the hood and you chain them up and you drive with them, how can you lose, bro? Like, you gotta get.
I haven't done people like that since Toy Story.
But keep in mind, like, I thought when you burn somebody's house, you would probably whoop that person's ass, but Swerve lost. So I could be wrong.
The thing is, honestly, thinking about this beforehand, I was going Daniel Garcia, but I think after thinking about, talking about Dynamite and everything, I could see Claudio and them interfering and costing Daniel Garcia this to get Daniel Garcia more involved in that with Darby and Orange Cassidy. So Jack Perry has nobody because the Bucks are gone. Okada's whatever, driving around in his Ferrari or Porsche or whatever.
What the hell? Where is Okada?
Oh, he's a champion, bitch.
So random how they just cut him off everything. Okay.
They had him actually wrestle like 2 weeks in a row, and then that's too much.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Jack Perry. Jack Perry.
All right, so we both got a couple of.
Yeah, because I feel like it's too easy to look at and go, okay, Daniel Garcia just signed a contract. Jack Perry really hasn't a lot going for him, but I feel like there's going to be the cheat thing or something going to happen in there. Now, this match, I feel like Mercedes Moné, TBS Championship against Chris Statlander. I feel like, I don't know, man. I just don't feel the CEO or anything of that anymore with her.
Man, how many matches is in this pay-per-view, dude?
I was like 12.
Jeez.
Well, this is right now. You got to remember, you still have Dynamite, which they might add more for 0 Hour and everything else, because there's no Mark Briscoe on here yet. I got to feel like he's on there somewhere.
And Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's not in this?
Yeah, Jericho's, no.
The Nueve?
Ishii is going to fight Nueve. But I don't know when that's going to be.
I think that's on Dynamite, though.
Oh, is that a Dynamite? Oh.
It might be on Dynamite.
Jericho getting some time off. But I don't feel like Chris Statlander's beating Mercedes Moné.
I mean, she keeps whooping both of them during leading up to it.
Yeah, you're whooping her ass leading up to it. That means you're going to lose
Yeah.
at the match. So I feel like Mercedes keeps the title, but I don't feel like she's elevating that title at all, man.
Is she even defending the other title that she has? The one from Japan?
Yeah, and I don't think. I mean, maybe she's been over there a couple times, but not on AEW TV.
Yeah, I think she'll win it. Maybe, and I guess they were teasing Camille being like probably like pushed around, so maybe they want to set up Camille versus Mercedes down in the road.
Yeah, but that's lost luster too, hasn't it?
A little, yeah, it has. It's just again, I don't know why Chris Statlander was the one picked. I got Mercedes Moné, bro. Screw it, Mercedes. You?
Yeah, it's got to be Mercedes. I just can't see Statlander winning.
The right person they should have kept doing this with is Britt Baker. They just had one match and they called it quits and that's it. Like,
or if you're going to throw something else into it, it's throw Hater in there or something.
Or you could have put in Thunder Rosa. She's another good one that you could probably put up there.
I don't understand how you go from heel to babyface and you're like, oh, the Stokely got in my head, and so you're weak.
Yeah. Very weak.
And here's another one, man. Like AEW World Championship match: John Moxley versus Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, I don't know how Moxley could lose that.
Moxley can't lose. The way the angle's going, like you can't lose in your first defense.
And then that's the
That's
reason
the whole angle, right? I mean, the Rough Rider angle is Moxley having the title.
they should have not just had Moxley. They should have kind of like had like maybe like a tag team or a triple like 3-on-3 or something.
Well, that's
And
what I
just
thought.
one-on-one.
At the end of the last pay-per-view, they showed Darby, OC, and Daniel Garcia. That could have been your 6-man main event for this match.
Yeah, because then you would have Moxley, Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah.
But you could put Pac in there, so you would have to get
Pac,
another.
or you can have him come in there too, or whatever. He told you to out, but like I mean, No Doubt says Moxley wins, but he gets us some assistance, and that's the other thing too with this whole thing is like, does he need assistance to beat Orange Cassidy?
And then if once he beats Orange Cassidy,
And No Doubt says to keep it going. I understand
next, though?
That's the other thing. It's like where does it go?
Where does it go? Like who's gonna take over?
Because it feels like it's going to be those three that they keep going through: Darby, OC, and Garcia. That's your young lions of AEW, I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see how Orange Cassidy should win this. That storyline is supposedly their biggest story, and at the same time, like, what are you gonna do? Put him against? Probably the next step would be putting him against Darby Allin.
Yeah, but Darby's getting thrown around by Claudio right now.
Yeah, but man, when you need somebody to come and rescue you, you put in Darby Allin, sir. That's what Tony Khan always does.
Yeah, Tony Khan. That's his Brock Lesnar
That is just very, very smaller.
or Goldberg or whatever the hell it's going to be.
Damn, I wish I wish the wheel would have had Goldberg on that as a topic again.
Oh God, no, we don't.
Yes.
By the way, on NXT right now, it's the number 1 contender match: Ridge Holland against Andre Chase. If Andre Chase loses, Chase U is done.
Done.
And Trick Williams is out there in a NASCAR jacket.
NASCAR jacket. Guy loves NASCAR apparently.
Oh, the CW. They have the Xfinity series.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
All right, miscellaneous thoughts. Anything we didn't cover that you want to talk about, Mr. Frankie Frezko?
Anything that we did not cover? I don't think so. And if chat board, if you have something that you want us to cover that we missed, let us know. Throw it down there. Anything I could think of. As far as, I mean, we covered Monday night. We covered, WWE. Cody was on College Game Day. That was pretty cool. He picked a couple people there. I don't know who did he pick. Florida to upset LSU.
I think he went LSU.
Oh,
I think it all went LSU, man.
That's that jinx, bro. Once you pick the whole team, that's why. Did he pick a Georgia Tech? Did he pick Georgia Tech to play? I think Georgia Tech was playing that weekend too. He has to be going for Georgia Tech. He's from Georgia. I think we covered everything. And shout out to the Georgia Tech alumni. My hat, sporting it. I hope you guys enjoy it. When I'm not a Gator fan, I'm a Georgia Tech fan. So that's pretty much it. And no, we're not going to talk about Columbia choking because we already know about that. Who do you think is the 5th for the OG bloodline in War Games? I mean, Seth? Is there anybody else? Because I don't even think Cody would fit in it.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Seth right now. Oh, my God. He just took out the girl.
Oh, Thea?
Yeah, she got taken out by the flip guy. I don't know who his name is. Where's number? All the people that he put out has attacked him. Ridge. All the Chase U guys have come back.
Oh, Riley or Duke?
Do both.
Oh, so Riley's they're all trying, man. Yeah, because they don't want Chase U to go like the shitter, bro.
Holy cow!
You get rid of Chase U, you get rid of the whole thing. They don't want Andre Chase to leave.
Yeah, Ridge Holland just threw both of them out. It's back down to Andre Chase against. Final thoughts, Frankie Frezko. DJ Memo wanted to send out a big shout out to Ecuador.
Yeah, big shout out to freaking Ecuador. I just want to go ahead and say, look, man, you guys have all been picking on me because Colombia lost, and I know this is a wrestling show, so I appreciate everybody who did not talk about Colombia. We struggled today. We lost fair and square. Congratulations, Ecuador. We're still tied for second place in World Cup qualifying, so we're fine. We just need to tighten up, man. I'm glad I did the show because it did calm me down a little bit more. And when it comes to like Memo and Argentina and all that stuff, Memo, you guys beat Peru 1-0, bro. Like, give me a break. Peru sucks, and you guys barely beat them.
Use the key word though.
Yeah, they won, but
Yeah.
they won, but at the same time they played against Peru, and last week they lost against Paraguay. So I don't see Argentina being a powerhouse either. So it just looks like all the teams in South America are kind of crappy right now. But I guess for you guys that want to talk smack to me about Colombia or talk smack to me about the University of Miami, how I'm rooting for every team against you're more than welcome to follow me at Frankie Frezko, Fresco Music on all social media platforms. Just put Fresco the way it's spelled on there, and you'll find me. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I'm in Blue Sky. Did I say Blue Sky?
Watch out.
I might get a lot of haters.
Yeah, but we're content creators, man. That's the thing. That's what people don't understand.
If you're in Blue, damn, why was that so loud? Jesus.
I don't know.
If you're in Blue Sky, does that mean you're a Democrat, Sean?
That's the way people look at it. Yes.
Interesting. Alrighty. What about you, man? What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are it's been a pretty good week, man. Everything has been good. I think the wrestling action has picked up, whether you watch AEW, whether you watch WWE, whatever it is that you watch right now, it feels like the winners are us right now with the action going on, and some of the storytelling has picked up. So I'm very interested to see. And don't forget, subscribe, Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. You can support, interact with the show. There's QR codes there for Cash App, Venmo, and of course, all of you. We appreciate you for sharing everything. Follow me on Facebook, Stanley Media House Network.
Oh, they lost?
Channel. Yep. It looks like it's over.
Well, I don't think Chase U would get down. I think it would just be Andre Chase no longer being in Chase U, right? Is that was the whole situation?
Well, the whole Chase U is laid out like the Bloodline 2.0 and Roman Reigns.
So Ridge is Roman?
No, Ridge, yeah, I guess Ridge was Superman punching everybody. The whole Chase U is laid out. Like, I mean, it's not looking good. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what they're going to do, man. That's going to be interesting.
Maybe see how interesting it is. Yeah, I think it was about time they got rid of Chase U.
Look, all the people are crying in the crowd.
Oh,
I feel like the executive producers is like a joke.
Wait, other people are crying on the crowd?
There are people with the Chase U shirts crying like in the crowd.
All those Chase U people are soft as hell. They must be all Argentinian.
Oh, damn. Again, it's Stanley Media House on Facebook. Stanley Media House on Instagram, Stanley Media _11 on X. I'm at Stanley Media House on Blue Sky, and on Twitch, it's Sean Stanley Sports Talk. So appreciate you all. And as I said, on Thursday, I might actually do a little sports talk. I might try to see how I can work this out. But I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated.
I'll let you know if I respond to some people.
Oh, you're going to respond. You better respond.
I probably will write something on X because I don't know. Okay, this is not the right moment, right? This is not the right moment, right?
We'll discuss after. Let's discuss.
Do me a favor. And,
yes.
and before we go.
Okay, before we go.
Please ask that gentleman, right, if he wants. He probably is gonna say no. He's probably like, no, it's my show, so I don't need to bring him or anything like that. But if he's willing one day to bring me on as a guest, I will even pay him to be a guest on his show. That way, I actually have a fair shot in actually being able to respond to him because he picks and chooses what he wants to say.
They're off inviting him to your show.
Sure, I will bring back that. Let me talk to you for that. I would bring him back.
Special edition.
I would bring him. Yeah, please ask him. I'm not gonna ask him. Does he tune? He stopped tuning into our wrestling show, so it is what it is. But if you know what, I'll send him a message. I'll be like, hey, you know what? Come to my show. He's probably gonna tell me to go fly a kite, knowing him because he's so hard headed and he's so like such a stickler.
You have everybody. You have memos cheering you on, and no doubts like, don't do it, Frankie. It's like you got the angel and the devil on shoulders.
No,
like,
and
don't do it. Don't do it.
The viewers are actually increasing. So, if you guys want me, I'm gonna send him a message. I'm gonna send him a message, and I'm gonna be like, look, I want you to be a guest on my show. Are you willing to do it? And I know him. He's probably gonna say no, but if he says yes, I'm gonna promote the shit out of it. And I really want to see what he thinks. I think finally we will get a fair debate. He knows a lot about sports, hands down. He's an old timer. He has more years on me than anybody else. But now he has to face me. Now it's actually going to be face to face, well, at least on social media, or at least on the YouTube world. And I'll be more than happy to bring him on board. I think it will be great for him and for me. I think a lot of people will tune in. I think a lot of people would like to see that because I'm not going to stay quiet. You're going to get the real Frankie. He might block me afterwards. That's what he'll do. He'll probably block me. He'll be like, I don't need this crap. And he'll block me. I have the feeling that I'm pissing him off to the point where I think like he's starting to get there. Because if I start going and picking on him, right, on X, and I start writing stuff on X, oh man, that's gonna lit up a fire on him. Because I already know I told you this, Sean, he reminds me of my dad. The only difference is that he's not my dad. So I love my dad, and my dad loves me. Big O doesn't care about Frankie. And Frankie doesn't care about Big O. I have no ill will against him. But you can't be going ahead and responding to me and thinking that I'm not going to go ahead and respond. Because I saw what I wrote to him. And then he went on X and he replied again. And he keeps saying, oh, you're not listening to me. You don't know the English language and all that stuff. No, sir. You keep saying crap and I keep rebutting it. And what you do is you pick your little words and you decide what you want to say. That's the problem. So I can't defend myself because I only have the chat and I only have certain amount of words I could put on the chat, and there's only certain amount of you're gonna read whatever you feel like it's gonna be in your taste. So whatever, man. But I'm gonna reach out to him, Sean. I'm gonna reach out to him. I made that decision. The people are saying, "Do it, Frank." Super chat tomorrow. The show. If you guys want me, let's do this. If you guys want me to go ahead and have the Big O come to Let Me Talk to You, send me and Sean right now a super chat. Only $1 or something like that. Send us a
super chat on ours right now. We don't have the station, I don't think. I don't know how that works. I don't think we can get
look at that. Whoever always is, bro, you're a badass, man. See? Of course you are. Because the problem is a lot of people know Big O, and he's an old timer. So old timers.
Get off my lawn!
Oh, yeah. Old timers are hard headed. And he's a Libra. So he's blind. He's wearing a blindfold.
Mimo, I want no part of that show, bro.
Sean, you could be
I'll produce it. I'll stay off the camera and just sit back and get my feet up. I'll have some popcorn and some drinks. I'll be good.
I'm telling you, man, it will be like Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. But in this case, I'm Jake Paul. He's Mike Tyson. I'm telling you right now. So
hopefully you guys are more hard hitting than that fight.
Oh, we wouldn't. We at least for my end, I will, because he can't run around, and I'm not gonna let
you guys to be the women fight.
And I'm not gonna
be the women's.
No, because then when I win, they're gonna rob it and give him the kudos. So I'm gonna be the Puerto Rican girl that got robbed in that women's fight. That's what's gonna happen.
Toronto.
Yeah, she got screwed. You know she should have won that match.
Yeah, oh no. Yeah.
I felt bad for her. I was like, man, how can they give it to the other chick? The other chick didn't deserve it, and the other chick kept giving her headbutts, bro. That was terrible. Like, you can't do that to you. But look, but yes, I will go ahead and I will. You know what? You guys pushed me.
And always 13. Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. Oh, you're right. Get off my artificial grass.
Yeah, when you have a mic and you have the camera, again, it's his show, so I can't. I could only say so much. I'm just a listener. But if you come to my show, it's not only my show. I'm giving you a voice. Obviously, I don't have the huge.
So you're going to be the voice of the voiceless.
I don't have a huge fan base.
Listening
I
and
have,
punk.
but you know what? We would need a third person. I would bring
Living your life.
I would bring my brother, and then you know what? My brother would be on my corner, and you could be on Big O's corner. How about that? Do you think that's a good idea?
I'm kind of neutral in this whole thing, man. I'm France. Oui, 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 oui.
I'm telling you, because I see that he keeps tagging me, bro, and I'm like, yo, bro, like, dude, chill out. Like, he gets mad at me because I called him out. Okay, let me ask you something, Sean. And I know we should be talking sports because the viewership keeps increasing when we talk about this. He went in and correct me if I'm wrong, because you're there, you're always on the show. So correct me if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But he said that no team ever fires a GM in the middle of the season. That's what he said. He didn't say specifically the Dolphins, if I could recall that. I specifically remember him saying, "Hey,
this is going."
He said it ain't typical that an organization goes and cuts a GM in the middle of the season." Was that true, or was he specifically talking about the Dolphins? Because he could be talking about the Dolphins, then okay, hands down, I'll keep my mouth shut. But I thought he was generalizing it, because he says there's no team that usually does that, and the Dolphins have never done that. That's what I thought he said.
I'm the worst person to ask about this stuff, man. All the days blend together, bro. I listen to almost 80 hours of talk every week.
That's why, yeah. So I have I don't want to. I'll go back. You know what? I'll go back on the shows and I'll go back and look at it. I'm gonna, because I know it's the last couple of weeks. I'll go back on the shows and look at the replays, and I'll go ahead.
To the usually I'll cut those up. Most of the time they're probably cut up.
No, I don't think you caught up when he said about the GM getting cut in the middle of the season. I don't think you did that.
Oh, if they're longer than like a minute and a half, I usually cut them up. If they're not, then I don't.
But so that's the thing. So I wrote that. I said, I thought you said that in the middle of the season, no team cuts a GM and a coach. And then look, no doubt, you're absolutely right. Apparently the Jets did it. And then he goes and he wrote back to me saying, "Oh, apparently you didn't. You're not listening to me. You must not understand the English language." That's what I heard. That's what maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I'll be like, all right, cool, no problem. I admit it. I heard it wrong. But the Jets just proved me wrong. All of us have been vouching that they get rid of Chris Greer, and he let me put it to the side. His excuse is the talent is there for the team. But what's the point of having the talent for the team if you can't get the main guy right? You need a coach before you go after good players. So why would you go ahead and keep the front office if they can't get even the main? It's like going ahead and getting look at the Chicago Bulls when Michael Jordan didn't have Phil Jackson as his coach. They were good. They weren't great. You front office needs to get a coach. And if the front office can't get a coach, then stop just blabbering about the coach being the issue. It's not only the coach, it's the front office, bro. Because they don't know how to find the right guy to lead this team.
And that's the bottom line, because Frankie Frezko says so.
Damn right, goddammit. You damn right.
Get my drink.
Let me get 2 beers. Throw them over here. Throw the beers. Yes. There you go.
All right. You want to take no doubt. Always 13. Thank you for the follow and the subscribe. Joey R., we appreciate everybody that's new on there. We appreciate some new faces and names, memos in there. And good job by, what is it, Ecuador, right? Let's see here. Josh was in earlier.
Dan Chan.
That
hurt, bro. That hurt.
Okay? Sammy, as you always being in there for us, I appreciate you.
Throw the Ecuador.
And make sure you check out the Fins TV if you need some talk about Dolphins. Let me see here. Man, we had some good convo going on today in the chat. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, they were all talking about Ecuador. They were just trying to rile me up and piss me off because they know I'm a little bit upset today.
Alexa was in. That's right. I forgot Alexa was in earlier.
Yeah, even she was going for Ecuador. Jesus.
Yeah, well, she's with Josh. Come on now. I mean,
That doesn't matter.
Come on now.
It doesn't matter if she's with Josh.
Plus, I don't think she likes you that much.
She better not. No, she did. She wrote it on there. First and foremost, if she's
appreciate everyone.
If she's Ecuadorian, okay, I get her. But if she's not Ecuadorian and she's just going because of Josh, then Alexa, bro, I'm sorry, you're doing a disservice here. If you're going for Ecuador, it's because you like Ecuador. Imagine she's like from. And the only other way I could understand her going for Ecuador is like if she's Argentinian. If she's Argentinian, it makes perfect sense because nobody wants to root for Argentina, so you would go for Ecuador. Makes perfect sense.
Or you just go for Ecuador because they don't want to cheer for your team.
That too. Because I don't cheer for the Kings, and people don't like me when I cheer for the Kings. Ah, you like that, huh, Memo? Huh? Talking all that crap all the time, bro.
Next week I'll be wearing an Ecuador hat, by the way, right here on the Squared Circle Digest. The Squared Circle Digest. Make sure, again, we appreciate all you guys for joining in. If you're watching it during the podcast, please hit the like, hit the subscribe on Stanley Media House Network, jump over to Frankie Frezko, hit that subscribe and like button as well. And I'm going to be talking to sports this Thursday. So join me. We'll talk the demise of Colombian soccer as they lose to Ecuador, and Frankie is shutting the team down. I'm going to have Frankie Frezko on to discuss the team that is or was Colombia.
Always is Ecuadorian too? How many Ecuadorians do we have on the chat board? Jesus Christ.
This is an Ecuadorian show, buddy. We're fourth Ecuadorians.
All these Ecuadorians decided to jump on the chat board because they know they were playing against Colombia and because you beat us. But if you guys had not beaten us, I wouldn't even know who you guys were, to be honest with you. Let's just keep it real. So, I mean, look, I have no problem with Ecuador. No problem. You guys won.
It really seems like you do.
No. I don't have a problem with Ecuador. I was just pissed that Colombia didn't beat them. We were playing at home. We had an extra man. A lot of things didn't go our way. It is what it is. One of our main guys missed a clear open goal. You know we should have won that guy, right? You Ecuadorians know we should have won that game. You know that. But your goalkeeper, hands down, best player of the match. That guy blocked everything that was shot at him. I think the guy had like about 20 shots at him, and he freaking blocked everything, bro. It was crazy.
Always 13 says all he hears is excuses.
No excuses. You guys won fair and square. Congratulations. We just gotta get our shit together, man. We're struggling right now, man. We just can't buy ourselves.
In the year, is that you?
Say that again.
2 losses to end the year.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough, man. It's just again, you know.
Wait, is that what the Frank E is for excuses? Frank E Frezko? Excuses?
Such an ass.
What happened?
I said you're such an ass, Sean. Stop being an ass.
Joey R threw in the.
Appreciate it.
I like Joey R. Joey R is a good guy. Said, don't worry, Frankie. I'm sure Colombia will do better next time, buddy. You'll get them next time, pal.
We'll do fine. We'll be fine. We'll still make the World Cup.
Dude, you're an amazing man, dude. I appreciate you being on here with me every week, man.
Thanks for keeping me distracted during this hard time right now.
I love it. And everybody that was out with us, once again, thank you guys so much. And in the words of the great Gordon Solie, so long from the Sunshine State, and go Ecuador.